Hello, Sue.
Hi.
Hi there. Right, there's just 2 or 3 of us in total today, so obviously the recording will be going out to the other group members, which means that I'm still going to keep it in respect to the abilities of the whole group and make sure that we have some of that basic work in there, but then take it up again. Now, I've got a few little variations on the theme in today, so I've put in a couple of ideas that I've not done before, but they're just tweaks on what you already know, so it's mixing 2 different things together that you might have done before in a couple of the exercises. And to be fair, this is a good all-over workout. We're going to make sure your shoulders, your glutes, your abdominal muscles and your back muscles get a good workout. We're going to start off in standing, and we need to make sure that we are in a position, well, we're going to be sliding our feet around. Now, if you've got the ability to slide your feet along a slidey floor, that would be ideal. If you're on a carpet, just make sure there's not a mat to kick or trip on. I'm just going to make sure. I'm going to be popping you guys on mute, so I haven't got any background. There we go. Lovely. All done. Right, magic. So we're going to start. Usual standing posture, nice and tall through the crown of the head. Helium balloon pulls you up nice and tall. We've got shoulder blades gently set down. We've done our pelvic tilts in standing. We've found that neutral position. So we've tilted back, we've tilted forward, we're halfway in between. We've got our weight equally through forefoot and heel, so things feel equally spread through the feet. Both arms are out in front in our beach ball position. We're going to be doing the toy soldier from here. We're going to be splitting our arms whilst we press through our toes. So as I press through my toes, my arms split, and then I slowly lower back down. Hands come back to the middle, and then I split in the opposite direction. I'm trying to avoid the temptation to sway forwards as I do this movement. I'm trying to keep my knees as straight as I can, and I'm breathing out as I reach up. I'm breathing in as the hands come to the middle. I'm breathing out as I reach up. I'm breathing out as I come to the middle. Keep that going. You visualize that helium balloon pulling you up from the floor, leads your toes on the floor, and then it lowers you back down. Okay, good work. And we're going to just do 1 or 2 more, warming those calf muscles up. Okay, and then we're going to rest those feet down. Next exercise, it's not a traditional Pilates exercise, but I find it really useful for helping find sort of the diagonal lines of tension that we have between our shoulders and our hips. It's the one where we push the ceiling away. So I'm going to start with my left hand up in this position, almost like I'm a waiter with a tray. And I'm imagining now that I've got a piece of cable attached from my elbow to my knee. So as I push my elbow up, my hand up, my knee comes up. Now I cheated there, I leant over. I'm going to try not to lean over. I'm going to try and stay as in a straight line as I possibly can, keeping that grapefruit tucked under the chin as I do so. So it doesn't matter which side you choose to begin with, we're going to aim for about 10 repetitions. So off we go. Keep your neck nice and long. 1. Try not to fall back onto that foot. 2. And as you go up to the top, really push that ceiling away and the floor away from underneath you. 3. 4. Keep going with that. Try and keep that midline as much as you can. 5. I'll have a quick look at you. Push that knee as straight as you can, right up to the ceiling with that hand. 7. 8. 9. And on the last one, I want you to hold it up there as though you're trying to push the ceiling and the floor away from you. And I just want you to think about whether you can straighten that line out from the heel of your foot to the heel of your hand any further, and then slowly lower that back down. Let that arm down. Opposite side goes up. You know what's going to happen here. We push up for 1. Lock that opposite knee out. The foot that stays on the floor, try and keep the knee straight. 2. Breathing out as we press up. 3. 4. 5. Keep that going. 6. 7. 8, 9, and on the next and last one we're going to hold it there, and we're going to see and feel what that pressure feels like. Can you push out as well on this diagonal line as you could on the opposite side? Try and keep that form and that force in place, and then slowly lower that back down. Okay, now legs are warmed up a little bit more now. We're going to get the thigh muscles involved in this next one. We're going to be doing a bit of a clock face type exercise with a leg slide. Previously we've done the leg slide before, where I bend one knee and I take a foot behind me. We're also going to make sure with this one that we're going to do some forward movement with the foot, but we're also going to do some sideward movement with the foot. So to begin with, I want you to start with the foot sliding out behind you. Keep shoulders nice and tall, arms can stay rested at your side. Choose to peel the heel on one side so the front knee is bent, the knee is bent forwards a little bit, and then we're going to just slide that foot back behind you. We don't need to go too low. Bring that back up. Now take it out to the side a little. Bring that back up. Take it out in front of you a little, and then bring that back in. We're going to go backwards again. We're going to do 3 sets on each side. 1, 2, 3, so that's 2 sets, and back again. 1, watch this standing knee, make sure it goes slightly outwards from the centre. 2, and then forwards again, back off. We're going to switch sides, so peel the heel on the opposite side, take the foot behind you, bend this standing knee. 1, out to the side. 2, forwards. 3, keeping your form, your neutral. 1, 2, 3. Last set, we're going to be repeating this one again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now have a quick look at this. As I go into this movement, I've got a bit of an easy way and a hard way of doing this. As I take that leg out, the easy thing for me to do is to lean over this way so my leg goes out easily. The other easy thing is for me to let my knee roll in a little bit. So I want my knee to follow the line of roughly my second toe, and I want my shoulders to stay over my hips rather than shunting across, so that it should feel like you're a little bit more unbalanced. You feel like you're trying to keep that midline a little bit more this time. So we're going to do 3 sets on each side again. Peel the heel, get ready to go backwards with the leg to begin with. Take that foot back behind you, bend the knee and hip. 1, 2, don't worry about going too far with the movement. 3, and back. 1, so the shoulders come forwards a little bit there. 2, 3. Okay, one more set. Nice, smooth and control. Keep that neutral in place. 2, keep that chin slightly tucked. 3, we're going to go straight into the opposite side. Get your position, your form. Opposite foot goes back. 1, 2, 3. And again, back we go. 1, 2, keep that knee slightly turned out as it bends. 3, last set. Down we go. 1, 2, keep that knee turned out. Last one. There we go. Alright then, so legs are warmed up a little bit more now. We're going to do our roll down to get onto the mat. We're going to start stood at the end of your mat, facing your head support. We're going to go for 3 roll downs. So we're down and back up for 2. Third one takes us onto the floor. So we'll start with the chin lightly tucked in towards your throat. Rolling that chin down, shoulder blades roll forwards. And we're just bending 1 vertebra at a time on top of the one below. And as that lower back begins to bend, we push that tailbone up. Feel the hamstrings stretch. See if you can hold it there for a moment. And then we slowly uncoil. We tuck that tailbone back under until we come back up into that upright position, stacking 1 vertebra at a time on top of the one below. Next repetition, see whether you can get down a little bit lower. Try and keep those knees bent. Push that tailbone up to get the hamstring stretch, and then we uncoil back into standing. Tucking that tailbone under 1 vertebra at a time, comes back up on top of the one below it. And then last rep, this will take us into the floor, onto the floor, Feel like you're taking the crown of your head down to the floor between your feet, looking back between the legs as those hamstrings get stretched, and then allow the knees to bend onto hands and knees. Walk the hands out, have a turn over onto your back. Okay, first exercise we're going to go for hundreds, which is that arm pulsing one. Any shoulder symptoms, consider turning the hand either palm up, palm down, thumb up. See if you can find a comfortable position for this. So, hundreds level 2. We start out feet and knees hip width apart. We've done a few of our pelvic tilts to find our neutral, shoulder blades set down, arms rested by your side, right leg floats to tabletop position. Imagine you've got that glass of champagne, both arms are pulsing. Quick pulse, we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That kind of rhythm of pulse if we can. Trying to keep that leg absolutely still, trying to keep your shoulder blades, your neutral on the spine, your head, neck, absolutely still as you keep those pulses coming. Okay, nice and basic, I know, but it just gets you in the zone. Remember to keep breathing. So it might be 5 pulses on the in-breath, 5 pulses on the out-breath. On that next out-breath, allow the arms to relax down. Foot floats back to the floor. Opposite side comes up into tabletop. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that rhythm going. And just see if you can get your breathing in time with that. Once you've got that cycle going, quick body scan, head and neck nice and relaxed, chin soft in toward your throat, shoulder blades, neutral lumbar spine should be staying pretty still whilst those shoulders are pulsing. Okay, and when you're on your next out breath, allow those arms to relax down, foot floats back to the floor. Next level we're going to go for double leg tabletop. If you need it, you use the imprint. That's where we pull the ribs down, one leg up followed by the other. We have double leg tabletop in place now. Keep the knees at a right angle, hips at a right angle. Don't be tempted to pull the knees in too close to the chest or let them hang too far away from you. You've got to have the knees over the hips. Keep the chin soft in toward your throat. Make sure those shoulder blades are tucked back underneath you. Off we go again with those arm pulses. And let's maybe just try a few variations. Palms facing down for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thumbs up for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms up for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And keep that cycle going. So you're just having a little bit of distraction as you're into the exercise. It gets you thinking about something else whilst trying to keep the control automatic. Okay, couple more pulses there. On that next out breath, allow the arms to relax down, one foot down followed by the other. Okay, so the conventional next level for this one is where we add abdo prep. I'm going to put in the oblique abdo prep here, so have a quick look to see what I mean. I'm going to start with my left hand behind my head. I go into double leg tabletop. I come into the abdo prep, the oblique prep. So I'm pulling my left shoulder blade away from the floor. I'm trying not to pull my elbow around. Shoulder blade away on the left side, arm on the right side pulses. Okay, so if you're not in that position yet, double leg tabletop. Left shoulder blade away from the floor, so you rotate it over a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that going. I want to have a quick look at you. Keep that neutral on the spine. Try and get that body rotated over towards your right a little bit, so that shoulder blade's just lifting that a little bit higher on that left side. Good work. Okay, and then on that next out breath, you're going to allow the shoulder to relax back, the arm down, one foot down at a time. Have a quick breather. We're going to do the opposite side. So we've got the right hand behind the head. We've got the left arm down by your side. We've gone to double leg tabletop. We peel that right shoulder blade away. We lift that left arm. Off we go with those pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to try changing the arm position a little bit as you do so, thumb up for a little while, palm up for a little while, see if it makes any difference to the challenge. Trying to keep those legs absolutely still as you go through this one. Okay, good work. Let's just do a few more pulses there. And then on that next out breath, we're going to allow the arms to relax down, head down, 1 foot down at a time. Okay, I think we're going to add a little bit more oblique work in for the tummy whilst we're here. So we're going to go for double leg tabletop again. We're going to use the oblique prep. This is the one where we reach for the ankles. Okay, let me remind you, I think we did this one last time. We use our double leg tabletop, left hand behind the head, right arm down by your side. Peel that left shoulder blade away and we're going to reach downwards. I think we had our both feet on, or 1 foot on the floor when we did this last time. So it's a little bit of a reach down. So we're not really taking the elbow to the opposite knee like you would think. It's more a downward reach, okay? So let's get to double leg tabletop. We're going to bring in left-sided oblique abdo prep. So you're reaching that left shoulder blade away from the floor. And then we're reaching down that hand and back. Reaching down with that hand and back. I'm going to go for 10. That was number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay in double leg tabletop. Switch hand, right hand behind the head. Left arm floats. Pull yourself up into that right-sided oblique abdo prep. Reach with the left arm down the mat a little bit. 1. Reach that left arm down the mat. 2. Keep the legs still. 3. 4. Still breathing. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Lower yourself back, 1 foot down at a time. Have a little rest there. Okay, so now we're going to move on to scissors, and we're just going to run through the conventional set here. Let me just remind you of level 1. We'll just quickly go through it for the basics if we need it. We're going to have neutral on the spine. We've got shoulder blades set back under. If you wish, you can have your hands on the front of the pelvis. And we very simply float right leg into tabletop. Place it back on the floor. Left side floats into tabletop. Place it back on the floor. And your only concern here is keeping this movement going without any sense of change in position of your lower back or your pelvis tilting from side to side. So if your back feels to flatten as you lift the leg, then see if you can maintain that neutral. If your pelvis feels to rotate toward the side that you're lifting, then we can just try pressing the standing foot into the floor a little bit harder, and it just helps stabilise you. But that's all quite basic. We've done this before. Let's take it up a notch into scissors level 2. So we use our imprint. If we need to, we pull the rib cage down, one leg up followed by the other. Hands can either rest at your side or on the pelvis. Think about keeping your shoulder blades stepped back underneath you, chin softened in toward your throat. Left leg stays still. Right foot touches the floor, then it comes back up. Left leg touches the floor, foot touches the floor that is, and then comes back up. And ideally we want to be keeping the knee at about a right angle. If you feel like that's too challenging, try touching the floor a little bit closer towards your bum and then bring the knee back to a right angle. The shorter the lever, the easier it is. If you want to challenge that neutral under spine a little bit, think about the shape of that curve under the back and just start to reach that foot out a little bit further and see how those abdominal muscles feel about that and whether they can maintain your neutral. You may well find that there's a point at which you can't keep that back in the same shape. Okay, next time your foot touches the floor, leave it there, let the other leg come down to meet it. So what distinguishes level 2 from level 3? We were just doing level 2, it was one leg at a time. Level 3, both legs are going at the same time but in opposite directions. Have a quick look so you're familiar with what I mean here. So my right foot goes down, but as it comes back up, the left leg is going down. So they cross paths each sort of halfway through the movement. And that's level 3. Don't get carried away with the speed. Just keep a slow, easy tempo. So imprint, double leg, tabletop, one leg back to the floor. And as that comes back up, we're switching sides. So as the heel touches the floor on one side, the opposite leg should be reaching the top of its tabletop. Keep your control, keep your neutral, keep your breathing. And now I'm going to have a quick look. Nice soft transitions and change of direction. Excellent, good work. Remembering to keep your breathing full and steady. Soft kiss of the floor with the heel before you go back up. And the next time your foot touches the floor, leave it there, let the other foot come down to meet it, have a little rest. Now, if you felt that was easy enough, we're going to add into it the abdo prep. So that was basically both hands behind the head for this one. I'm going to go into my double leg tabletop. I'm going to just curl the top of both shoulder blades away from the floor. I'm going to keep my chin down on my sternum if I can. And then it's going to be the same principle, opposite legs. Transitioning through the movement, trying to keep the top of the shoulder blades away from the floor. So let's take yourself up into double leg tabletop. We're going to roll up into the abdo prep. Off we go. Try not to let those elbows curl inwards. Still breathing. Good work. Keep those elbows nice and wide. Okay, and then the next time your left foot touches the floor, leave it there, let your right foot come down to meet it, have a little bit of a rest, let the head relax back. Nice work. Okay, so we're going to give the tummy muscles a little bit of a break. We're going to get the shoulder bridge involved here. And we're going to do some hip pops to begin with. It's a nice basic subtle exercise, but it's continuous. You're not going to get much of a rest, but you won't need it with this basic level. So just to remind you, with the hip pop, we go up into the bridge, to the top of the bridge, but then we only lower halfway back down, and then we go up again. And when you go up, just think about tilting that tailbone up a little bit, and then lowering it down halfway. Tilt that tailbone up, lower it down halfway. So we're not getting the opportunity to sit the bum back on the floor, but still we should be getting some relaxation in those buttocks. Put your hands on your bum if you're not already. You'll feel some tension as you go up. I want you to feel some softening on the way down. Tension as you go up, softening as you lower down. And just keep that going. And it's that subtle on-off activity that just wakes those glutes up. We don't want to be clenching. It's just a natural activity that comes in with the lift of the pelvis. Okay, now that you're up there and you're going, we're going to add a little bit of a variation. We're going to add the hip swivels in here. So I want you to hold it at the top of the bridge here. Keep the left side up, let the right side drop halfway. Bring the right side up and then let the left side drop halfway. Left side up, right side drops halfway. Now the drop is easy, actually letting go of those glutes and relaxing on one side only is hard. So that's where the effort lies, or the concentration lies. Can you let go of one side whilst you maintain some engagement on the other? So yes, we get a bit of a twist going on in the pelvis, but we should be getting this subtle reciprocal on-off activity with the glutes, but without any real sense of clenching. Okay, good work. So the next time you're at the top of the bridge, roll it gently back out, have a little bit of a rest, let everything go. Think about letting your bum muscles pull into the floor, so you're not maintaining any of that activity now. Have a quick look at this next level of shoulder bridge, or a different version of shoulder bridge. I don't think I've done this one before. We're going to be adding some leg pulses actually in the bridge position. So I'm going to do my standard shoulder bridge, and then from there I'm going to lift my right leg. Now once I've got that right leg up there, I'm going to pulse it, and I'm moving my leg up and down a good sort of 10 to 12 inches. Now the challenge here is keeping the pelvis still, okay? So have a quick demo of that one, see what you think. Roll yourself up into the bridge, straighten one leg out, pulse the leg up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot back on the floor, roll back out of your bridge. I want you to reset the bridge in between 5 reps. We're going to switch to the other side. Leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot down, roll down. Up we go again. Hold that bridge. Left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll down. So you feel how that bridge wants to wobble as your leg is doing its kick. Try and keep your bridge as static as possible. 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot down. Roll it down. We've done 2 sets. We're going to do 5. Up we go. Left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly roll it back down. Halfway there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make the movement larger with the leg to challenge it more so. 2 sets left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Roll down. Opposite side. Bigger movement with the leg if you can cope with it. 3, 4, 5. Roll it down. Last set on each side. Really think about keeping that bridge as static and still as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot down. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, roll it down. Have a little bit of a hug of the knees. One knee up, then the other. Pull the knees up into the chest, rolling that lower back away from the floor. Just have a few repetitions in that position. Okay, and then one foot down followed by the other. Okay, so we're going to go back into something that challenges those tummy muscles a little bit more. We're going to go for one leg stretch. Now this is one of my favourites in the clinic because it really suits a lot of very basic back problems I see, and yet I still see it in people who think they're quite strong, not being able to control it so well. So this is the one where we slide one foot away, and if you can, you slide it along the floor, or if not, you just hover it above the floor. And what I'm doing here, I'm putting my fingertips, my middle fingertips are on the front of the pelvis, my thumb is at the base of the rib cage. So I've done this sort of movement, fingers on the top of my belt, thumbs on the bottom of my rib cage, and that will tell me whether my pelvis is wobbling or extending away from me. So one leg slides away, straight knee, gently slide it back. My fingers and thumbs are feeling and sensing for any movement of the pelvis. And as soon as I begin to feel any movement of the pelvis, that is where I stop the movement and I bring it back. The straighter my knee, the more likely my pelvis is going to want to twist, which is exactly what mine is doing a little bit of at the moment on the left side. And you'll tend to find, as you straighten the right leg, for example, your pelvis will tip to the right, so the fingers on the right side will feel a bit of a drop toward the floor, if that's what's happening. Or you might even start to feel your lower back begin to lift up as that knee straightens. So your job is to prevent that from happening, which might mean you don't straighten your knee fully. Okay. But that's our basic level, yet I still like it because I think there's a lot to learn from it if we really analyse it. And when that foot's back in position, have a little rest there. So when we take it up a level, it actually gets harder to really feel and analyse things, but it does put a bit more strength into the exercise. So your hands either stay on the pelvis or by the floor. We're going to go for right knee into tabletop, and then we extend away. And then we bring that knee back, and we put the foot back to the floor. So quite simple, knee bend, straight knee, back to a bent knee, back into the floor. How could we make this a little bit more challenging if we needed to? Well, we could probably add into it that abdo prep position. So we could put the hands behind the head, curl the shoulder blades up, bent knee, straight knee, bent knee, floor. Left side, bent knee, straight knee, bent knee, floor. Keep that cycle going. Still breathing. Keeping that control through the neutral lumbar spine. Trying not to pull those elbows in. Okay, good work. One more on each side. Last repetition there. Okay, and then lower yourself back out of it. We're going to leave the abdo prep down on the floor now, and we're going to go for double leg tabletop. So we use our imprint as is needed. So we're pulling the rib cage down a little bit, one leg up, followed by the other. We're going to keep those arms down by your side, and we're going to just straighten one leg away, and then we bring it back. So we're straightening the hip at about a 45-degree angle. So it's almost like you're pointing just for the ceiling over there somewhere, and then you're bringing it back. Now the arms being by your side are quite useful here. They give you stability. So if we take them away from you, can you still stabilise? Hands up in front in the beach ball pose, and you might suddenly find it's a little bit harder to keep the body absolutely still. But let's see whether you can. I'm sure you can. I'm going to have a quick look at you. Good control, Steve. Good work. Keep the movement nice and smooth. Don't need to throw the leg out into a straight position. Soft end, and then come back. Good work, Sue. Next time, both legs are back into tabletop. You're going to let your arms relax down and one foot goes down at a time. And probably in this session, it's a bit predictable what I'm going to do next. We're going to add in the abdo prep to that. So we can have either the hands behind the head, or if you're feeling particularly strong, imagine that we've got hold of that bucket of water that we used last time, and we're just going to lift it up a little bit, and we're going to use that position whilst we're in double leg tabletop. So from here, arms are either here or behind the head. If they are here, imagine that you're reaching up towards the ceiling, but keeping the chin tucked down onto the throat. From there, one leg goes away, and then it comes back. Opposite side goes away, and then it comes back. If you don't like this arm position, try placing your hands behind your head. Try and keep your control, and you're breathing out as you reach away, breathing in as you bring it back. Excellent stuff, looking strong there, guys. Good work. And again, next time you're back into that double leg tabletop, allow yourself to roll back out of that position, one foot down at a time. So just as a simple rule here, and this often for most people comes down to how flexible your hamstrings are. If I straighten my leg out along here, there's a lot more leverage for me to control than if I point it up towards the ceiling. I don't have the hamstrings to point up to the ceiling very easily, so I tend to sort of be at that 45-degree angle or lower. But the weakness for me there is that's a lot harder to control than if I had my leg going up to the ceiling. So you can very much vary how much work there is to do dependent on where that leg is, okay? So try and be consistent with the angle that you go for and make sure it's at a relevant level that you can control. Okay, now we're going to turn onto our side and we're going to warm those glutes up a little bit with a clam exercise. We're going to start off with level 1 up to level 3, and then I've got a couple of variations on side bend that we've not done before, I don't think. Hands on the floor for a little bit of support in front of you. We've got the gap under the waist. We're going to push that top hip away from you just to create that gap. And yeah, have a feel. Have you got neutral lumbar spine, or are you sort of really caved in? If you're really caved in, tuck that tailbone under to flatten the back a little bit. Or if you're already quite flat, let that tailbone go away just to create that little bit of a shallow curve. This hand, like I was saying, on the floor, feet and knees start off sort of in contact, but the knees open, feet stay in contact. And my feet stay in contact at the ball of the foot and the heel. So when we're back down to level 1 exercises, and we've been doing it for a while, when we've been doing Pilates for a while, level 1 exercises are the opportunity to go through with a fine tooth comb to make sure that your form is as good as it can be. So we're thinking body scan time, shoulder blades set down, chin tucked into your throat. I'm keeping my neutral lumbar spine. Is my pelvis staying still? I don't know. If I put the hand on the pelvis, that'll tell me a little bit more. Elbow pointing to the ceiling, and if that elbow is swinging backwards, it probably means that my pelvis is swinging backwards too, which we don't want. So we only lift the knee as high as you feel you can control without it rolling your pelvis backwards. Feet stay relaxed, even though they're in contact with one another. They don't have to do much work. And we're breathing. Okay. So because you're all super duper hardcore at this now, we're going to just run into the next level straight out. So the next time those knees down, we're going to lift the feet a few inches from the floor. So we're in that little propped box position, and then we lift again. So the main addition in the challenge here is that lifting the feet causes your waist to want to collapse down. You've got to keep that gap under the waist. Have a feel, is it still there? And that hand can either stay on the waist or it can go back to the floor. It's up to you. If it's on the floor, keep that shoulder nice and relaxed. Let's try for another 5 more reps. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one there. Lower those knees down, lower the feet down. Okay, now, you're going to go to the opposite end of your mat, or you're going to turn away, but we're going to do the opposite side before we do anything else. So we're going to go into clamp, level 1. So those knees are in front of you, feet are in line with the hips and shoulders, hand on the floor, shoulder blade nice and relaxed and set, gap under the waist. Let's lift that top knee. Nice and relax down. Lift that top knee, nice and relax it down. So that bottom arm that you're resting on needs to stay nice and relaxed. You're not trying to push into the floor with that. Your head is softly rested on your arm, with your chin lightly tucked in toward your throat. We're keeping that top shoulder nice and relaxed. We've got the gap under the waist. We could have the hand on the hip to give you a little bit of feedback as to whether your pelvis is swinging and swaying. And then we go down to the feet and they stay nice and relaxed as well. Balls of the feet stay in contact. Heels stay in contact. So it's almost like you're just opening a book and then closing it back down. Opening the pages, closing it back down, but without disturbing that waist. Okay, now after this repetition, when the knees are down, we're going to lift both feet up and we're going to lift that top knee again, keeping that gap under the waist. Is there a gap under the waist? Have a feel. You can fit that hand under it. You can leave it there for a few repetitions. See what happens. Does it stay pretty static and still? Or does it start to waver around a little bit? I don't know. See what you think. Still breathing. Still relaxed in the toes. Excellent job. Let's do another 5 reps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest those knees down. We're going to flip back to the other end of your mat. We're going to do climb level 3. So I was giving you a little bit of a break on one side whilst we did the other. So I know we're flipping and flapping about, but it means that we can keep going. And this time, both legs go straight, top knee bends, top of the foot, hooks in behind the knee, and this is the one where we just lower that knee down as far as it will go, and then we lift it back up towards the ceiling. The hand really does need to go on the floor with this one, I think. I think it's hard to do this without having that extra broad base of support. So I've got the gap under the waist as ever. I've got the shoulder blades set down and relaxed. And hopefully my neck is nice and relaxed and I'm not pressing it down or pressing my head into my arm. Breathing throughout the repetitions here. Okay, good work. We're going to do a few less of these because they're a little bit harder. I'm going to do 2 more repetitions now. Okay, good work. And now we're going to flip sides again. Quick flip of ends. Climb level 3. Straight legs to begin with. top knee bends, foot hooks in behind the back of the knee, hand on the floor for support, lower that knee and lift. Keep that going, I want to have a look at you. Good work. Try and keep the top of that foot touching the back of the knee. Keep that bottom knee nice and straight. Excellent work there, Sue. Don't lift too high if it's rolling you backwards. That's better. Good control. And we're going to do 2 more repetitions there. Okay, I'm going to have a little rest. So these hip abductors that we've just been using should be suitably warmed up for our next exercise. Have a quick look. Now, I've literally made this up on the hoof and I've not tried it, which means it could all go horribly wrong. But I think we'll be okay because we've done it in parts before. But we're basically going to mix 4 different exercises into one. So I'm starting in side bend level 1 position. My hand is on my hip here and I'm coming up into this position. Now I'm going to bring that leg up and I'm going to do a kick with a bent knee, a kick with a straight knee, a lift and then a twist. Okay, knee goes down, body goes down. So it's a bit of a medley if you like. Okay, let's give it a whirl and we're going to try for 5 on each side. Okay, so we lift up into our side bend position. We get that leg out straight, we bring the knee to the chest, we take it back. We keep a straight knee, we go forwards, we go up to the ceiling, and we point the toes up, we point them down, we bring the knee back, we go down and breathe a sigh of relief. Then we do it again. So we're up, straight leg, knee to the chest, back away straight. Forward kick with a straight knee, high kick with a straight knee, point the toes up, point them down, knees down, slowly back down. Okay, up we go again. If you don't like this, just hold the position. Straight knee. Bend that knee up and out. Straight leg forwards, back. Straight leg up, back to central. Toes up, toes down, back to the middle, back and down. This is harder than I thought. Okay, 2 more. We can do it. Up we go. Straight leg, knee up and out, forwards and back, up and down, toes up, toes down, knee in, relax down. 1 more to go. Try and keep shoulders relaxed as much as you can. Push that elbow into the floor as we go up, straight leg, knee kick, straight leg, forward kick, back, high kick, down, toes up, toes down, back to the middle, knee down, rest down, have a little rest. And we get to do that all on the other side. So you're going to flip sides. And we're going to get ready to go. See if I can remember the sequence. So we start with those knees in that clam-like position. We've got the waist lifted. Let's try and keep those fundamentals going throughout this. Hand on the hip. We're going to bring ourselves up into the side bend. We're going to straighten that top leg. We're going to bring that knee in. Take it out. Straight leg forward, take it back. Straight leg up and down, toes up, toes down, back to that bent knee position, slowly back down. So that toes up, you're swiveling through the hip as you do that. You're dialing it through the hip. Up we go. Straight leg out. We're going to bend the knee up, take it down. Straight leg goes forward, take it back. Straight leg up and down, toes up, toes down, back to the middle, knees in, slowly down and back. Don't let your waist collapse. Get ready to go again and up, straight leg, bend the knees, take it out. Forward kick and back. High kick and down, toes up, toes down, back to the middle, into the start position, slowly back down. 2 sets to go. Okay. 2 sets, I'm holding 3 fingers up, don't know why. Let's come up again. Out to that kick position. Knee up and away. Straight leg kick forwards and back. Straight leg kick up and down. Twist the toes up, twist the toes down, back to the middle, knees in, slowly back down. Last set Whoa, I've got a sweat on now with this one. Let's go up, hold it there, straight leg, knees up, there, straight leg forward and back, straight kick up and down, toes up, toes down, back to the middle, back to your start point, gently relax down. Okay, I'm going to look forward to seeing that one when I look back on the video. I'll be all over the place, I think. Okay, so you're going to need your head support now because we're going to be doing a swimming exercise. We're going to start off nice and simple. We're going to give those glutes a little breather for a moment, and we're going to be going for swimming level 1, right back down to basics. So let me just remind you, this one is just with your arms. Your forehead is supported on your towel or your pillow. If I have my head down, you can't really hear me very easily, so I'm going to keep my head up to talk you through it. Both arms are out ahead of you. You're going to try and tuck your tailbone down between your buttocks a little bit, so you're actually maybe coming away from that neutral to a slightly flatter back position if you can. All we're going to do is reach one arm out ahead, reaching for the wall, put it back down. Right arm out ahead, reaching for the wall, putting it back down. Keeping your head down, chin tucked, breathing out as you reach away, breathing in as you come back down. Breathing out as you reach away, breathing in as you come back down. Your sole focus here is doing this arm movement without disturbing the position of your lower back, which generally means don't lift too high. But you can also practice keeping that neck long whilst in this position. So you can keep those shoulder blades set down even though your arms are ahead of you. So think about extending that space between your shoulder blades and your ears to keep you nice and long through the neck. Okay, now next time your arm touches the floor, have a little bit of a rest. We're now going to add the opposite leg into the movement. So remember how it's more of a reach with the leg than a lift. And again, we're going to think about keeping the tailbone tucked down a little bit so we're not disturbing that neutral lumbar spine. Your toes will need to be pointed away a little. Keep your head down. One arm, right arm, left leg reaches slowly back to the floor. Left arm, right leg reaches slowly back to the floor. And even though I think I've got my knees straight, I know they bend a little bit. So really force the knee as straight as you can, which might mean just tensioning the front of your thigh muscles a little bit to help keep the knees locked out straight. Breathing out as we reach away, breathing in as we come back down. Trying to coordinate that all with the neutral lumbar spine position. Chin tucked up into the throat, back of the neck nice and long. Okay, one more rep on each side. Okay, good stuff. Now we're going to get up into the level 4 position, which means hands and knees. Okay, and we're going to go straight into sliding opposite, hand and knee away, keeping that neutral on the spine. Press your hands into the floor first to lift the chest up. Glide arms and legs away. Glide them back in. Don't disturb that tray of drinks on your back. Reach it away. Glide it back in. Reach it away. Glide it back in. As you reach one arm away, that supporting arm still presses into the floor. It keeps your chest high, it prevents you from rotating. You keep that chin tucked in, grapefruit tucked under the chin. Good work. Keep that going up. Just a couple more reps. I want to have a quick look at you. Nice and stable work there, Sue. Good work there, Steve, too. Okay, and have a little bit of a rest there. Okay, so we're going to pick on the legs now. We're going to do the leg pull prep, the knee hovering exercise, where we just work on those legs alone. Now, just as a reminder, if you don't like the leg movement or you can't control it, then we tuck the toes under and we just go for a hover in this position, okay? But if we can handle it, we're going to do the very same leg movement. We're not going to do arms and legs because I've proven I can't do it myself, so I shouldn't be teaching it. So I think that we should just go for the legs. Keep it something that's nice and simple, eh? Keep the chest lifted, lift the knees and hover, and we're going to take the left leg away for 1 and bring it back in. Right leg away for 1 and bring it back in, and we're going to do 5, 2, 2, 3, have a quick look at your knees, 3, only an inch away from the floor, 4, 4, last one, 5, 5, okay, hover those knees, lower back down, roll your bum back towards your heels, have a nice big deep breath in, ease your way back up. I think we'll do another set of 5 there. I enjoyed those. Let's have another go. We're going to tuck the toes under, press through the floor with the hands, lift the chest, hover the knees, left leg goes out, 1 and back, 1 and back, 2, 2, 3, 3, keep that going, 4, 4, get those knees down, last one, okay, have a little rest there, roll yourself back if you want to, so knees are down, roll it back. Things to watch out for when doing that exercise is as you fatigue, you start to curl up a little bit, everybody does it, so the knees lift, the back lifts, keep those knees down, it's more likely to keep you in that neutral position. Now we're going to take it up to the full leg pull exercise. Have a quick look so I can remind you. Hands are out a little bit further. We lift the knees and we go out into the high plank position, and we're going to be doing leg lifts in this position, okay? We're just going to do 5 on each side, and I think we're going to do 5 all on one side, 5 all on the other. There's going to be a pulse for that, which makes it a little bit harder to control. Okay, so just so that there isn't any ambiguity there, it means that once you're up there, the leg doesn't go back to the floor, you're just short of the floor for the pulse, okay? And then we'll come back. So, let's go out into high plank. Nice and straight with the knees, chest lifted. Left leg lifts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot back to the floor, right leg goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that one again, left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hover yourself back, lower the knees down, roll your bum back, have a little bit of a rest there. We're going to do that one more time. Nice deep breaths, get your breathing rate back down to normal. And then we're going to ease back up. We're going to hover the knees, we're going to push out straight, nice and straight, push through the floor to lift the chest, lift the left foot for pulses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that neutral on the spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last set on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hover back. Lower down. Nice deep breath. Roll your forehead down toward the floor. Spread those fingers nice and wide. We're now going to take it out into a cobra or a back extension. So you're going to keep your hands out there. Take your hips forwards, and if your back allows, allow the front of your hips just to roll down toward the floor. Keeping your chest tall, looking out ahead of you. Nice big deep breath, and as you breathe out, let your tummy sag. And again. Last one. We're going to ease back onto hands and knees. We're going to do the reverse of the roll down to get ourselves back into standing. So I've walked my hands back to my knees. I've gone into a crouch, my head's gone down. and then I'm slowly uncoiling myself back into standing. Okay, until we're fully upright. Well done guys, thanks for coming. We worked hard there on the tummy muscles and then the bum muscles and then the shoulder muscles, and then we stuck it all together. So that was good fun, it was hard work, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So I'll get that recording out to you shortly, and then we've got one more session left on Thursday. So hopefully I can come up with something new for you that you've not done before, and send you on your summer holidays enjoying your Pilates. Thanks for coming, speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Sue.